I'm going to, there are questions that were posed in chat and in the Q&A that we didn't get, we haven't got to, and I'm going to actually draw this session to a close because we have the awards ceremony. We want to have enough time to make the awards, announce the awards, and I know that there's another session that's starting at 4:30, and we need a bit of a time between the awards ceremony and the 4:30 session, so people can grab a coffee. So I hope that you will be okay with staying in your seats now as we move to the announcement of the awards and the presentation of the awards. So you know that we have had a history in the association for a while now of giving awards for meritorious scholarship, for best books, for early career researcher award, and today we are announcing 3 awards. They are listed in the short program, and fortunately we have 2 of the 3 award winners here today. I will begin though with the first award, which is the Best Book Award, which has been, it is given every 2 years on the occasion of the international conference. It's given to a single or co-authored monograph that makes an original and significant theoretical, methodological, and/or empirical contribution to the field of public policy and public administration. And the winner this year is Sara Niedzwiecki for her book, Uneven Social Policies, The Politics of Subnational Variation in Latin America. And I would just take a moment to comment on, to read to you the rationale and the reasoning behind the award jury. Let me thank also the members of the award jury, Fritz Sager, University of Bern, Andrea Lenschow, University of Osnabrück, Charlotte Halpern, Institut d'études politiques de Paris, Sciences Po, and Michelle Moret de Selva from the University of Oklahoma. Just to, as I say, the brief description of the book. The politics, social policies, Uneven Social Policies, the Politics of Subnational Variation in Latin America, asks the important question of why some regional and local governments adopt new social programs quickly while others refuse to do so. The study is based on an impressive amount of empirical work in 2 countries, Argentina and Brazil, 4 regions, and 8 localities. Her work is a major contribution to the study of social policy in South America and transports an utterly important insight, namely that politics does not end with decision-making, but continues into policy implementation. And the jury said it stands out as a rigorous and theoretically important piece. And I'm quoting, social policy is a wonderful and exciting read, thoughtful analysis, deep insights into dynamics of national and regional social policy making and implementation. So I'd like to extend my congratulations and on behalf of the IPPA to Sara. She is unfortunately not here today, so but it's just a great honor for her. I move then, yeah, let's give her a I'll move then to the second award, which is the Early Researcher Book Award, and this award is given again by Annalie on the occasion of our conference to a scholar who, within 7 years of completing a PhD, has published a single authored monograph that represents a major theoretical, methodological, and/or empirical contribution to the field of public policy and/or public administration. I want to thank the members of the jury, Pauline Rabinet, University de Lille, Mireille Manga Edimo, from the University of Yaoundé 2, and Osmani Porto de Oliveira, Federal University of Sao Paulo, and Diane Stone from the European University Institute. The jury has awarded the Early Researcher Award to Carolina Milhorance, who for her book, New Geographies of Global Policy Making, South-South Networks and Rural Development Strategies. And the jury says this about the book. The book provides an in-depth tracing of the internationalization and transfer of Brazilian rural policy instruments and the effects of transfer in the implementation of the tools in recipient countries, especially Mozambique. And again, I'm quoting here, the jury wishes to highlight the high quality of the extensive fieldwork in 6 countries and 3 continents, as well as the diversity, creativity, and subtlety of the approach. Through unpacking this complex case, Carolina Milhorance beautifully addresses a question that is a major one for public policy research today. That is how global norms emerge, travel, and are interpreted. And we're very lucky that Carolina is here today to accept her award. So we'll do it here. Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. Will be very briefly. So I'm really happy to be here to be with those who were able to attend the conference in person and also those who are connected virtually. So I'm really truly honored to be the recipient of such a prestigious award. I would like to thank the members of the jury, although if they are here, for this recognition. It's an incredible feeling to have your work read by your own bibliographic reference. So I'd like also to thank everyone who helped me to make this study possible. Although it's a monographic book, 2,080 people shared their perspectives and their time with me during the interview process. Several colleagues, including those attending this conference, provided insights to improve my research, and my friends and family who were kind enough to support me and tolerate me during the period of this research. So the story of this research stems from a personal puzzlement regarding the mechanism through which countries like Brazil have become international sources of public policy innovation. So my undergraduate studies are actually permeated by the opposite process, how these countries adopted international norms. So to dialogue with the session we just had, it's a puzzlement built on my personal experience in the global South, but the framework is a mix of South-South, North, Center, and all kinds of directive frameworks. So I have an existential crisis just before in the session. So the book begins by shedding light on the politics of policy making and also norm making at the global level, and try to unpack the emergency, circulation, and translation of policy ideas at the national and the territorial level, especially in Mozambique. It also addresses the impact of events such as the 2008 food and financial crisis, global crisis, and the emergence of new actors advocating for distinct new policy solutions. So it discusses how these transnational fronts of policy ideas actually constantly being renewed and reinvented. And Brazil is once again one of the primary scenes of these newest and most challenging fronts of policy ideas. Far-right populism, policy dismantling, negationism, and democratic fragilizations are some of the issues analysts around the world are dealing with now. And Brazil, and the consequences of this process are tragic. So the relevance of debate and learning spaces like the ICPP is highlighted now more than ever. And I sincerely hope we will be collectively find alternatives and that we'll be able to meet in person in the next ICPP. Thank you so much for the recognition.
Thank you. I'd like to move now to the third award, which is the Transition and Developing Economies Award. This was previously known as the Global South Award, and we've renamed it to its current nomenclature, the Transition and Developing Economies Award. And it's awarded to an academic employed on a full-time basis in a university located in a country identified as a developing or transition economy, and an academic whose publications, books, or articles are directly related to public policy and or public administration issues in one or more of these countries. The award recognizes the outstanding contribution of a mid-career or senior scholar to the development of the field of public policy and or public administration within either a developing or transition country context. The successful candidate will have an established record of theoretical and empirical scholarly publications, as well as service to the profession. I am delighted to announce that the winner this year, well, first of all, I'll hold on the winner because I want to thank the members of the jury first. The members of the jury were Jose Luis Mendez from Mexico, Shah Jahan Buyan from the American University in Cairo, Laura Chaques Bonifant from Barcelona, and Guillaume Fontaine from Flaxo, Ecuador, and Chiquine from Tsinghua University. I know I've mispronounced that. So the winner this year is Oscar Oszlak. He is currently Professor Emeritus at the University of Buenos Aires in Argentina. He has a very, very distinguished record. He is, among all of his achievements as a professor, he was the founder and previously director of CEDES, the Center for the Study of State and Society in Buenos Aires. With respect to Oscar Oszlak, the jury said that he has made a very significant scholarly contribution. He's the author of many books and academic articles on public administration and public policy, especially in Latin America. And he's written in both Spanish and in English. And they emphasize as well his important service to the profession over his career. Professor Oszlak has received many important awards over his career, and we are very pleased that, that IPPA is able to add to that collection and award him the Transition and Developing Economies Award. And he is here today, so he will be able to receive his award in person. So come to the podium.
Well, fortunately, my wife brought me the coat because it's very cold here. Well, I would just like to say a few words to thank, first of all, IPPA, its authorities, and the jury that decided to grant me this award. I had a very long academic career, as you can see. I received several awards. The first one was 54 years ago, in 1965, when I produced a paper on inflation and fiscal policy. But I particularly appreciate this one because it is related to the two major fields to which I have dedicated my whole academic life: public policy and public administration. And especially because it originated from the initiative and support of many appreciated colleagues from different parts of the world. I would like to share just a few thoughts, especially with the younger generation, with the young colleagues who just begin their academic careers. Some people think that I am a historian because I wrote a very well-known book on state formation in Latin America, or that I am urbanist because another influential book dealt with the eradication of poor dwellers from the city of Buenos Aires during the last military regime in Argentina, or that I am an economist because the subject of another book dealt with agrarian reform in Chile. So my first thought is that there are no boundaries in the social sciences. Social sciences are a seamless field. So do not hesitate to cross disciplinary borders. My second thought is that to try to shift from academic to consulting and management work. Management and technical assistance activity is always a stimulus for creating theoretical work, and academic activity in turn helps understanding reality. I have written probably 200 papers, but I have also conducted about 100 missions around the world in Asia and Africa and in almost all of Latin America. My third idea that I want to share with the younger generation is try to work in any possible capacity in the field of the social sciences. As a teacher and as a researcher, of course, but also as an institution builder, as a consultant, as a manager, as a policymaker, as a journalist. I have assumed all these different roles along my life, and they really enhance your perspective as a scholar. My final idea is that try not to get anchored in any given specialized field. Renovate your research interests, ask new questions, explore new areas of concern. There is always a cost of entry involved. It takes great effort to identify what are the major issues, what are the variables in each specialty, what are the major questions, but it's worth the effort. My latest book was published last year. It is called The State in the Exponential Area. I had to learn everything about ICT, robotics, Internet of Things, automation, cryptocurrencies, everything. It's a lot of effort, but it is it is worthwhile. Because along this academic journey, you will finally find out that the plowing took a lot of time, a lot of effort, but really the harvest is worth rewarding. So thank you very much for this award.